To begin, welcome to our deep dive on the paid-off car trap, and when it's smarter to sell than repair. Next, we'll unpack why a debt-free vehicle can still quietly drain your finances, how to run the controversial 10% rule, and how to use your savings as leverage for a controlled upgrade. Finally, stick around for practical frameworks, diagrams, and a quick quiz to lock in your strategy. First, we will outline the myth of the debt-free car. Then, we will break down the repair reality that often escalates with high mileage. After that, we will apply the 10% rule to decide whether to sell or keep. Next, we will identify risk factors like CVT issues. Subsequently, we will discuss how to use your emergency funds wisely. Finally, we will wrap up with a clear action plan and a couple of quiz questions. Before we proceed, please note this video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Additionally, everyone's situation is different, so consult a qualified professional for guidance tailored to your circumstances. Now let's confront the debt-free myth. While paying off a car feels like you eliminated cost, ownership expenses never drop to zero. Instead, as vehicles age, the probability and severity of repairs tend to increase. Consequently, a debt-free status can lull you into overlooking the compounding risks of component degradation and deferred maintenance. Moving on, consider how repair quotes can escalate. A $3,000 estimate can jump to $5,600 when hidden issues like gaskets and covers are discovered mid-repair. Moreover, repeated failures such as multiple bearings indicate systemic wear, not isolated incidents. Therefore, continuing to fund chronic repairs can become a sunk cost trap, diverting capital that could be used as a strong down payment on a more reliable vehicle. Furthermore, use a simple threshold to guide your decision. If your projected annual repairs exceed 10% of your vehicle's current market value, then plan to sell or trade while the car is still functional. For example, if your car is worth $8,000 and you expect $1,200 in annual repairs, that is 15%, which crosses the threshold. However, in edge cases where a major component, like an engine, was recently replaced under warranty, longevity may be renewed. Therefore, consider adjusting your estimate accordingly. Next, start by estimating your car's current market value using multiple sources to avoid bias. Then, project the next 12 months of repairs based on your maintenance history and known issues for your model. After that, compute the ratio by dividing repairs by value. If the percentage exceeds 10%, lean towards selling. Additionally, layer in risk factor scoring, such as known transmission issues, chronic overheating, or electrical gremlins. Finally, plan your timing to sell while the car is still functional to preserve trade-in value. Now, use this decision flowchart to map your next step. If repairs exceed 10% of value, prepare to sell while the car still runs. If not, screen for major risk factors such as transmission or cooling system weaknesses. When risks are high, budget and define an upgrade window. Risks are low, continue preventive maintenance and reevaluate in 6 months. In either case, leverage savings to secure a reliable replacement without waiting for a catastrophic failure. Meanwhile, examine the cost breakdown. As vehicles age, the repair slice can grow disproportionately. Consequently, reallocating a portion of those repair dollars toward a down payment can improve overall reliability and stabilize your monthly costs. Next, the timeline diagram illustrates how repair intensity and downtime typically increase as a vehicle ages. Early years involve mostly preventive maintenance. Around years 7 to 10, moderate repairs and a first major repair often emerge. Between years 11 and 15, the frequency and cost of repairs escalate, sometimes forcing a second major repair and more downtime. Beyond 15 years, the risk of catastrophic failure spikes, while market value declines, making timing crucial for preserving trade-in value. Additionally, the mind map organizes high-mileage risk areas. The drivetrain branch includes CVT belt slip, torque converter issues, and bearing wear. The cooling branch lists radiator leaks, water pump failures, and head gasket risks. The electrical branch covers alternators, batteries, and wiring corrosion. The suspension branch includes struts, control arms, and wheel bearings. Under each category, warning signs like noises, vibrations, overheating, dashboard lights, and fluid contamination help you spot problems early. Moreover, Couples with multiple vehicles should evaluate each car separately. A vehicle with a major component replaced under warranty may have renewed longevity and can be prioritized to keep. Conversely, a car with repeated, costly failures is a higher risk candidate to sell first. Direct combined savings strategically toward the next upgrade to minimize disruption. Subsequently, think of your disciplined savings as a car payment to yourself. By doing so, you can convert that fund into a strong down payment at the right moment. Crucially, upgrade from a functional car rather than from a broken one, which helps you avoid paying inflated prices under time pressure and preserves better trade-in value. Now, let's compare options. Keeping the car may require less immediate cash and can extract more miles if risks are low, but it demands vigilant monitoring, and value can erode quickly if a failure occurs. On the other hand, selling or trading avoids major repair bills, preserves trade-in value while the vehicle runs, and allows you to redirect repair dollars into a down payment, generally reducing surprise breakdowns. Ultimately, the 10% threshold and risk factors should guide the choice. After that, consider this example. A car valued at $9,500 with projected repairs of $1,400 results in a repairs-to-value ratio of about 14.7%. Because this exceeds 10%, the plan would be to sell or trade the vehicle. Next, here is your first quiz question. Your car is worth $10,000, and you project $1,300 in repairs over the next year. According to the 10% rule, what is the smarter move? Option A. Keep the car and reevaluate in 12 months. Option B. Plan to sell or trade while the car is still functional. Option C. Ignore repairs because the car is paid off. Option D. Wait for something to break, then decide. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. Now, the correct answer is to plan to sell or trade while the car is still functional. 1,300 divided by 10,000 equals 13%, which exceeds the 10% threshold. Next, here is your second quiz question. Repeated bearing replacements and sudden gasket failures most likely indicate what? Option A. Normal wear you should ignore. Option B. Isolated events with no pattern. Option C. Systemic component degradation requiring a reassessment. Option D. A sign you should keep repairing until the car fails. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. Then, the correct answer is systemic component degradation requiring a reassessment. Multiple related failures usually indicate broader wear rather than isolated events, which means it is time to recalculate and consider selling. Furthermore, here is a quick checklist. Gather the current market value from multiple sources. Estimate repairs for the next 12 months. Compute the percentage and compare it to 10%. Score risk factors across transmission, cooling, electrical, and suspension. If results are over the threshold or risks are high, schedule your sale window. Finally, deploy your savings as a down payment and upgrade while the vehicle still runs. Moreover, remember these key points. Debt-free does not mean cost-free. The 10% rule helps you avoid the sunk cost spiral. Selling while the car is still functional protects trade-in value. Your savings are a tool to execute a controlled upgrade. Finally, evaluate each vehicle independently and prioritize reliability. In summary, aging vehicles often conceal accelerating repair expenses. The 10% threshold provides a clear decision rule. Specific risk factors, such as transmission or cooling system weaknesses, can tip the balance. Ultimately, plan to upgrade from a position of strength rather than reacting to a breakdown. Finally, thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe, and tell us about your situation in the comments so we can help you think through the numbers.